All right, ladies and gentlemen, another month and another PUBG update. Today is November 1st, and PUBG dropped their patch notes for update 26.2. This is going to be going live on November 8th for PC and November 16th for console. This is actually a much shorter patch than we've seen in quite some time. It's very quick, so hopefully this will be a shorter video for you guys. But stay tuned because I'm going to go through a tour of PUBG's new TDM map. This is called the Pillar Compound. You can see a preview right here. Has kind of a paintball / Call of Duty-esque style. So that tour will be pretty cool. There's also a new Crafter Pass, which is kind of a big part of this update, and I think why it's a little shorter. And then also just a reminder that PUBG is dropping a new map next month, excuse me. And this is supposed to be a really big map. This is PUBG's 10th map called Rondo. Previously codenamed Neon. So a lot of times before a big update like this, we'll see some shorter updates or a shorter patch before that. And PUBG just redid Erangel and redid a little bit of Miramar. So it's actually been a pretty busy year for PUBG. So I don't think it's a huge deal that this one's shorter. And they just did some Halloween events. And then bonus at the end of this video, I'll show you guys I'm wearing this special PUBG cat shirt that I got a long time ago. I forgot about it and I just found it today. So I'm wearing it for the stream and for these videos. So let's go through this update. Hopefully we'll make it pretty quick. They start off by going through some gunplay changes. This is to the AUG and to the Dragunov. So the AUG is receiving a nerf with recoil, both horizontal and vertical. The vertical recoil actually getting increased by 10%, but again, we don't know exactly where it starts off at. So it's hard to really, gauge this until you play the game. And honestly, I wouldn't worry about this too much. People I feel like get a little upset by this, but these things are going to change over time as PUBG just tries to balance all of the weapons. And what they said here is that the AUG, after they rebalanced it initially, has a win rate of 53.3. They tried to nerf it, I think, recently or make some changes, and it only went down by 0.3%. So PUBG wants to get all these numbers closer to 50% win rate to make all of the guns balanced. And that's why we're seeing the changes here. And then the Dragunov, again, they mentioned here that it's still lagging behind all of the other DMRs in terms of kills, distribution, and win rate. So even though the Dragunov is strong, they're seeing from their data that people aren't using it. So they're giving it a little bit of a buff, a speed buff, and less recoil recovery or better recoil recovery. Because when you shoot that gun, it really is pretty bouncy, way more than the SLR, in my opinion. So there you go. Let me know what you guys think about that. Some people upset, but for me, it is what it is. It's just a small part of the update. And then we have a small gameplay change here. Over the past year or two, PUBG's really been trying to kind of clean up the game and add in a lot of stuff that, PUBG players track or know about into the game. And with this, they've added in the flight path that's going to remain on the map, and you can toggle it on or off if you want, but that will remain on for new players. And PUBG's done a lot of this stuff. I mean, they even added in the ferry pass on the bottom. And some people might complain that PUBG's losing its hardcoreness, but hey, we're almost 7 years into the game, and I think little things like this help new players and even old players, just cleans up the game a lot more. So I'm totally down with all that stuff. And then here's our quick tour of the TDM map. Sorry, I'm doing this quick because I just don't want this video to be too long. But here's the map. So pretty cool. Again, very Call of Duty-esque. They have the Ascender on the side. And these areas are really cool because you can kind of post up at these little perches, which is going to be great for like DMR sniper play. And you guys will see this area kind of has like 3 main lanes, the left, the middle, and the right. There's a dirt bike there. And I was on PC, so I was actually able to spawn a dirt bike. So if you see my buddy driving it, there's no vehicles in this game, but there you go. I think he crashes right there. But we were driving them in here. I even spawned gliders and all this funny stuff, which is a perk of being able to play custom games on PC. Kind of do what you want if you have the sandbox mode, which I think is for partners only. But you can see this looks good. My computer I think is only on medium graphics, not even on like high quality here. A lot of times I lower it while I'm streaming because I only have one PC. But definitely a really cool map. This area is kind of one of the spawn points. These buildings are closed, which I think makes sense. You don't want to have too many like nooks and crannies. But this seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, this seems like one of the biggest TDM maps to date. You have that whole initial area, which is pretty big. And then you have this whole separate kind of side lane. This connects, I think, to one of the spawn points where you could kind of be fighting over here and flanking. And then there's kind of different entry points to that main area here. And then I kept going and I was kind of surprised to see that this whole area exists too. So there's a lot going on here, a lot of areas to fight, pretty open. And I think this is going to be a really fun TDM map. The only issue is that PUBG keeps doing all these amazing things, but is it kind of too little too late? Because a lot less people are unfortunately playing the game. Sometimes I feel like some of these cool new game modes, like the updates to TDM, Blue Bomb Rush, and all this stuff kind of get lost in the arcade mode. Even the new zombie mode, I think, was in there. But I think it would obviously just help if there was more people playing the game. And speaking of Blue Bomb Rush, they made a ton of adjustments here to Blue Bomb Rush, which I personally loved. I thought it was such a fun game mode. If you guys never played it, give it a try. But I know that if you try, you might not be able to get a queue because nobody's really in there. They added a penalty for people to leave, which I think is good. You always need to have penalties for people quitting out of matches, especially like TDM or Blue Bomb. If you haven't been able to play, getting a custom game mode of this with your friends going is really, really fun. Just an awesome game mode. Just a shame that this stuff wasn't in the game years ago when the game was super popular, because it just would have, I think, even made PUBG even more popular back then, and really kept people around. And honestly, like, I believe with PUBG's gun mechanics, I feel like a lot of these things could almost be a separate game, but that's kind of a story for another day. We mentioned the Crafter Pass. Again, there's a lot going on with this. Check out my video on YouTube, just a previous one. Creator code Blitz5 as always, and then some performance updates for PC, it looks like, and then some bug fixes, which I'm going to skip to keep this video a little quicker. So that's basically it. We have the new Crafter Pass, which is big, Blue Bomb Rush improvements, new TDM map, Pillar Compound, the flight path is staying, and just some changes to the AUG and the Dragunov. So very quick update there. Hope you guys enjoy it. When this goes live, definitely check out that TDM map, have some fun. And as always, thank you guys for watching. I'm Blitz5, and here's the cat shirt. Let's take a look. Let me zoom out here. This is just a silly shirt. I forget if I got this off Etsy or if this is an official PUBG shirt. I think it is official. It's got the PUBG logo, but it has a level 1 helmet, level 2 helmet, level 3 helmet, and then a level 4 helmet, which is a cat wearing a pan on its head. So just an old school kind of PUBG shirt. Figured I'd just share with you guys. All right, take it easy, everybody. Peace.